So then
The,
if you
the the
think
regular
about,
audience wouldn't even understand that. You know what I mean?
so did you apply that when you were doing Boys to Men?
You know what? There was an exception to the rule, though. I will say that
Okay.
because they started off that way. They started off ad libbing and doing all them crazy runs and stuff like that. Cause Sean and Wanye, man, they be coming up with some crazy stuff too, man. So you just got sometimes you just got to let them loose, or you just got to strategically place it, man, and
Yeah.
just right because you got to let them get it all out, man. You know what I mean?
But the reason I was asking that is that because if you think about, they sold more records than Jodeci, and KC would do all the runs and everything. So, and I was wondering why you think Boys to Men, they'll sell 20 plus million on their two album, while for Diary of a Mad Band did about 5 million. They came out the
Right.
same time. So, but do you think because they kept it simple and they made songs that were more accessible to a bigger market?
Hold on, man. So I won't lose you, man. I'm finna plug you in. All right.
Okay.
Hold up.
So I was thinking about when you think about the songs you did for Boys to Men, their album two sold 20 plus million, but
Right.
Jodeci, Diary of a Madman, did maybe 3 to 4 million. And I'm wondering when you talk about, because KC will always do the runs and everything, and those of us, those who are really from the church, were like, yeah, we can recognize that. But Boys to Men did sang, this, they felt like their music was a lot more accessible to a wider audience than say a Jodeci. But what was your take? So do you think the rule that LA was telling about keeping it simple applied to the Boys to Men that made sure that they were a lot more exposed to a wider audience and diverse audience compared to what Jodeci were doing?
Yeah, because if you think about it, Jodeci stuff was more urban. You know what I mean? And Boys and Men was leaning more towards like pop, like the second and third album. Like if you think of the end of the road, um, to the end of,
Hmm.
on the first one, go back and listen to it, man. You don't hear no ad libs on that. That's how Babyface. That's how he produced, man. So that was like more of like a pop way of producing, man. You know what I mean? That
Mm.
was that was a way of like crossover producing. Put it that way.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like don't let them ad lib on the first hook. It's like because it'll get it on the radio quicker if you do that.
Mm.
So, but Jodeci did a lot of ad libs anywhere. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Which there was some crazy songs that they did,
Yeah,
like
yeah, 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 yeah.
you know what I'm saying, "Forever My Lady" and
Yeah, Cry
let's
for
see,
Me and
cry,
Feeling and yeah, yeah. Come and
man,
Talk to Me,
"Cry for."
Stay. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, man. To this day, "Cry for You" is one of my favorite songs. Point blank.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
I know Devontae, and I always tell him that when I see him, man. I'm like
yeah.
him and
Even
Dalvin. I'm like, hey, man, you know what? 'Cause remember that Dalvin album we did? We did it together.
no, I'm going to get to because I've had Dalvin on my show twice, and
Oh, okay.
yeah, so he knows I'm a big fan of his and stuff. But and when I did ask him what's his favorite Jodeci track, he says "Cry for You" is his favorite track for Jodeci. But I just wondered about is that but when you guys are producing for Boys to Men, are you thinking? No, I don't think. Are you thinking crossover? Are you thinking keeping it simple so that more people can access it?
Yeah,
Okay, okay,
absolutely, man. Thinking like, you know what? This is a group that's a crossover group. Because if you think about it, man, go back and think about like all the artists like I don't know, Janet, Michael Jackson.
yeah.
Um,
Lionel Richie, I guess.
if you think about, yeah, Lionel Richie too. If you think about it, man, when they came out with the first single, man, where did they go? Who did they come to first? What was the song sounding like first? It
Mm.
was urban at first. Think about
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Michael Jackson, man, like Billie Jean, that was the R&B song.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? It just crossed over because of the way it was produced. If you
mm,
think about All For You was first. That was more urban.
mm,
It was more, it leaned more towards urban, and then it
mm,
crossed over if you think about it.
Yeah.
So it's a certain way you do urban records like that you know you can have them cross over too.
Mm.
The vocals, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay.
You think of All For You, man. Janet ain't doing a lot of ad libs on that.
Mm.
Billie Jean, man. Mike ain't doing a lot of ad libs on that record, man. Like, go back and think, like when we done, man, go back and listen to him, man.
Yeah, no, do. And I think that's
like,
that. Yeah, because you think about Aaron Hall, that was something that sort of kept him in a small lane because he was always doing the sort of ad libs and stuff, and it felt as if that yeah. So his but when he did I Miss You, he didn't do a lot of the ad libs on I Miss You. He kept it simple, and that became his biggest single.
That was a
So
bad record. That was a dope record too, man.
yeah. So yeah.
I Miss You.
Yeah.
That was incredible, man.
Yeah.
That was an incredible record. But yeah, man, you know, man, that's just, you know, I mean, man, we didn't make the rules. We didn't come up with it. That's just the way it is, man. If you listen to pop records, man, that's just the way it is. It's like less is more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know, it's true. With Dalvin, I did ask him about this because he didn't sing he didn't do much singing on with Jodeci. He only got to do Get On Up was the one single that they released that he produced. He says he said Devante didn't like it, so he didn't even show up in a video when Get On Up was released.
Get On Up, yeah.
He didn't like it, so he didn't even show up in the video shoot. But then you're coming to produce his album, big album for Madonna's label, and it doesn't do as well as you probably think because there's a lot of stuff in there. You later on became an executive behind the scenes. What do you think went wrong with Dalvin's album? That is it the title, which was hard to pronounce? What do you think sort of affected that taking off?
You know what? It's just some albums, man, that the public is ready for and they're not. I think his album was kind of a little ahead of his time. If it came out like, you know, maybe like a year afterwards, I think that people would have got it. I think that, like, you know, the way he dressed and all that stuff, he was starting a different type of style, you know what I mean? That just be yourself and just be who you are, you know what I mean? Okay. It's like when you seen that album cover, man, it wasn't a regular looking album cover where it's just like a portrait of somebody's face and then that's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he had himself painting and all that. It's like that probably threw people off, man, and then get a chance to really, really get into the music because that's really a good album, man.
Yeah. And I wonder if he had kept it similar to a Jodeci sound starting off with and then going into the other direction, maybe that would have made a difference. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of Halftime Chat. Please remember to subscribe, share, and comment. But most importantly, why don't you become a member of Halftime Chat? We've got amazing videos, amazing perks, and being able to support the channel. But anyway, thanks for watching. Take care.
I never participated in that category.
And somewhere in between.
For even loving us, on which I didn't miss you with.
What was it like growing up?
She's still making an impact on 4 houses down.
I have a couple pieces.
Trying to get this one and that one.
That works for me, but just for me,
No, okay, you're okay.
They don't understand what Jodeci Boyz II Men and all
play it. I mean, I love all different genres.